Learners, welcome to my channel. Today we will discuss about amino acid definition and introduction. Amino acids are molecules that combine to form a proteins. So amino acids, one amino acid to another amino acid by the bonding of peptide bond to form a proteins. Amino acids and proteins are the building blocks of life. So the protein is the main part of the life in the building blocks of life means we need for the amino acids also. So amino acid and proteins, both of them, they are building blocks of life. When proteins are digested or broken down, amino acids are left. The human body uses amino acids to make proteins to help the body. When proteins are digested or broken down, amino acids are left. Once they are amino acid and amino acids, like one amino acid and another amino acid joined to a bonding peptide bond, dipeptide, tri oligopeptide, and finally the formations of protein. That name of a protein, they once they are digested, it will be broken down and left into the amino acid. The human body uses amino acids to make a protein to help the body. So the human body also the uses of amino acids to make a proteins to help the body. Amino acid as the building blocks of peptides and proteins. So without the amino acids to form a peptide, and these are the peptide they finally called as a polypeptide and form of a proteins. Proteins are made up of hundreds of smaller units called amino acids that are attached to one another by a peptide bonds forming a long chains. So proteins are made up of hundreds of small units called as the amino acids. Hundreds of small units, then only the formations of a proteins that are attached to one another by a peptide bonds forming a long chain. Protein as a string of beads were each based in an amino acids. So the general structures of a common amino acids nothing but that is a or CH, NH2, COH. Like a NH2 they form into the NHH, and COH since is nothing but C double bond O OH. Like a C double bond O OH, that is nothing but that is a carboxyl acid group, or since is nothing but that is a side chain, and NH2 that is nothing but amino group. These are all the functional group like a amino as well as a carboxyl group and as well as our side chains and the hydrogen with the carbon, then only it's called as a amino acid. General structures of amino acids group and variable side chains also they are present, and side chain may be the protein folding binding to a specific ligand and interaction with its environment. Amino acids are a consistence of like a constant like a amino group as well as a carboxyl group and also the hydrogen and with the side chains like a horse side chains. Okay, these are all the definitions of amino acids. Like next one we will start the classifications of amino acid. Here the classification based on the composition of side chains, mostly the classification of based on composition of side chain, mono in a number of amino as well as a carboxyl group as well as a metabolic rate, nutritional requirements. So these are all the things it will be based upon the amino acid they classify. These are all the things. Okay, the first one classification based on the composition of side chain, since is nothing but based on the composition of the side chain, it will be divided into 8 groups. Like one is the first one non-polar, like that other name it's called as a hydrophobic amino acid. That is the definitions it's called as a they have no functional group. It contains a side chain that do not interact with the water, and also the best example is a leucine, that short name is called as a leu. It mostly found in the meat, dairy and legumes. Okay, so the second one is a polar uncharged amino acid. It will be definition, it contains a side chain that can form a hydrogen bond with the water. They do not carry any charges, so that's why it will be called as a uncharged amino acid. The best example is a serine, the short name it's a SER, and most probably they are found in the soya products and egg wheats. Okay, the next one is the aromatic amino acids. Like aromatic amino acid they function, it contains a side chain with an aromatic ring, right? So aromatic amino acid will be contains of a aromatic ring, like a benzene ring will be present, and also the phenylalanine. like a phenylalanine, that is a short name, it's called as a PHE, phenylalanine. And most probably they found in the meat and fish and dairy products. Okay, so the fourth one is a positively charged amino acid, like a basic amino acid. It will be definitions of a side chains that are positively charged at a physiological pH, and the best example is a lysine, LYS. And also they may be most probably they found in the meat, fish and dairy products. And fifth one is a negatively charged acetic amino acid, like have a side chains that are negatively charged at physiological pH, like aspartic acid, ASP, and also found in a sugar cane and molasses. And also the sulfur containing amino acids, it contains sulfur atoms in their side chains, it found in a meat, fish and dairy products. And also the hydroxy amino acids, this type of hydroxy amino acid, it will be hydroxyl group will be present in the side chain, like a best example is a 309, it will be found in the meat, dairy and leafy vegetables. Amino acid amide group, it will be contain a secondary amine group rather than a primary amine group. Its a best example is a proline, it is found in the gelatin and meat. So these are all the 8 different categories, they are divided in the based upon the composition of a side chain, right? So these are the classification based on, one is a non-polar, polar, positively charged, negatively charged, like a simple amino acid, as well as a aromatic amino acid, acetic amino acid, hydroxy amino acid, amino acid amide group. These are all the things, it will be based upon only the composition of side chain, like what type of a composition, they based upon the composition they are categorized. Like hydroxyl group, it will be present in the side chain, mean like that type is called as a hydroxy amino acid, right? The next one, classification based on the number of amino as well as a carboxyl group, right? The first one is a neutral amino acid, like a mono amino monocarboxyl group, like a one amino as well as a one carboxyl. Mono since is nothing but that is a mono one. Okay, it will be contain a one amino group as well as a one carboxyl group. Like the best example is a glycine. Okay, it's a found in where it is means that is a gelatin and various proteins sources. And second one is the acetic amino acid, like a mono amino dicarboxylic acid. Monoamino dicarboxylic acid is nothing but it will be acidic, like because of the more number of a acidic group will be present, right? So it will be contain a one amino group and a two carboxyl group. The best example is the aspartic acid, like the best the short name is the ASP. Okay, right, it is found in sugar cane and molasses. And basic amino acids, the name it's basic amino acids, so always the base group it will be present, like a diamino and monocarboxyl group. This definition, since is nothing but it contain a amino group and one carboxyl group, it will be best example for the lysine, LYS. Okay, it's found in meat and fish, dairy products, right? And also the classification based on the nutritional requirements. So the nutritional requirements means I hope this type of them they clear understand about the number of amino as well as a carboxyl group. Monoamino monocarboxyl, monoamino dicarboxyl, diamino monocarboxyl group, they are divided into 3 categories. Okay, that is a neutral form, acetic form as well as a basic form. So based upon the acetic means like a dicarboxyl group, if they amino like a basic amino acids means like a 2 diamino group will be present. In case they are neutral form, like both of them they are same, like a monoamino monocarboxyl, right. The next one is a classification based on the nutritional requirements. So they are divided into 2 categories. One is an essential amino acid and another one is a non-essential amino acid. So essential amino acid, it cannot be synthesized by the body, but must be found in the from the diet. The best example is the histidine. And non-essential amino acid, non-essential amino acid cannot be synthesized body, can be synthesized by the body, so they do not needed to be obtained from the diet. Okay, best example for the alanine. And also they are classification based on the metabolic rate, that is a I hope this one clear, that is a classification based on the nutritional requirement, right? That is a nutritional requirements means one is the essential and non-essential amino acid. So essential amino acid, it cannot be synthesized by the body, but it will be through, it will be obtained from the diet. Okay, it cannot, it will be need in our body, but it does not synthesized in our body, right? But non-essential amino acids can be synthesized by the body, by synthesized by the body, and so they do not need to be obtained from the diet. The best example for the essential amino acid histidine, non-essential amino acids is nothing but that is a alanine, right? Classification based on the metabolic fat, that is a final one. So majorly they are divided into two category. One is a glycogenic amino acid. So first we will start, before starting the glycogenic amino acid, I will give clarifications about that glycogen. What is the glycogen means? That is a more number of the glucose they are converted into the formations of glycogen. It will be stored in the liver, it will be in the form of a glycogen. Okay, during the fasting time only the glycogen it will be break down into the formations of glucose, right? So glycogenic or glucogenic amino acids or those that can be converted into glucose. Okay, that is through gluconeogenesis. Gluconeogenesis since is nothing but synthesis of glucose from the non carbohydrate sugars. Okay, right. This process is important for maintaining a blood sugar levels, especially during the fasting and intense exercise. Like example is the alanine. The next one is the decarboxylation. Decarboxylation, that word term, it's nothing but de, since is nothing but like a removal. Okay, deamination means like a removal of amino group. Okay, so here the decarboxylation since is nothing but that is a removal of carboxyl group. You know that formula. What is that carboxyl group? Like a COOH is a carboxyl group. Okay, here the decarboxylation of amino acid means that is a one type of a carboxyl group they are removed from that particular amino acid. That is the decarboxylation. This type of a decarboxylation it also comes from the metabolic fat. Okay, so metabolic fat since is nothing but they are deposited in our fat in our liver. That's all. Okay, so the amino acids by decarboxylated by always the removal of decarboxylated something it will be happen in the addition of reactions like heating or adding of acids or bases or specific enzymes to form amines. Okay, that is the best example is like this one amino acids in the presence of barium hydroxide like a BaOH2, and also the presence of heat acid and bases it will be finally in form into the amine group, and also they are liberated to the carbon dioxide. Here the general structure like this one is a general nothing but RCHNH2COH, that is a general in the presence of barium hydroxide BaOH2. Okay, while the heating or acids or bases they are formations of amine group. Okay, and they are converted into the and they are liberated into the carbon dioxide. What it how it will be possible mean there is no directly conversions of a amino acid, there is no liberated into that carboxylation, while the heating or adding of some type of enzymes or acids or adding of a barium hydroxide then only the formations of a amine group, right? This is a classification based on metabolic rate. Okay, so I hope this one all the things it will be clear. Thank you all.